But first to London, where anarchy has reigned for a third straight night. Locals say they haven't seen rioting and looting like it for a generation. And the mayhem is spreading to England's second largest city, Birmingham, in the Midlands, to Manchester, Leeds and Liverpool in the north, and to Bristol in the west. In London, the violence is widespread. Hackney, Camden, Notting Hill, Lewisham, Clapham, Ealing have all been hit, and the list goes on. Trouble erupted so swiftly in so many suburbs that London police were scrambling to keep pace. Rioters used SMS messages to coordinate their attacks and outrun the law. Here's London correspondent Philip Williams.
Day 3, and instead of petering out, the violence intensified and spread. The first trouble broke out in the northern London suburb of Hackney. And it was the same story. Cars stolen and burnt, shop windows smashed, and then the looting. Here at a service station and at a pawn shop. This is what's happening up and down the street. Police don't have control of this area right at the moment. People appear to be looting at will. Nothing to stop them. The riot police did attempt to regain control, but it was a battle all the way. Even with the baton charges, there was no guarantee the streets could be held for long. And before police arrived, it was mob rule. For some, it looked more for the thrill of the fight and the destruction.
For an hour and a half, we just watched guys, kids, like 14, 13 years old, just running up to shops, smashing the windows. All of them would run in behind and just grab everything and just come out.
This is the interface. This is where they've actually come head to head. And at the moment, the police are just holding their ground. But in places all over the city, it's not the same case. Just as police appeared to gain the upper hand in Hackney, there were fresh outbreaks in other London areas, especially in the south. It was here in Croydon the fires were the worst. This furniture store was gutted. Adjoining properties also caught fire.
Well, I'm not interested in Hackney, I'm not interested in Peckham, I'm interested in Croydon. Now, they're down here now, and where have they been?
And in other suburbs, more blazes, and everywhere the looting. In some areas, people had a free run for hours.
I don't know why people do this.
And it's a friend of mine, he called me that, your shop got broken into.
And then
the police has not responded still now.
It seemed the police couldn't muster the numbers or the overwhelming force necessary to quell the violence.
I do implore people, we do ask people to implore you to actually ask people to clear the way for us, to allow us to arrest those that are engaged in that activity.
And while there have been many arrests already, many more are getting away with it. And it's not just London. There is copycat violence in Birmingham and Leeds. The nation is in shock. How did it all spiral so dangerously out of control? And how do you stop it?
As we go to air tonight, the British Prime Minister is chairing a crisis meeting in London. Philip Williams joins us now. Phil, what can David Cameron do?
Well, that's the big question. Can he get tougher? Can he authorise the use of water cannon, tear gas, perhaps even deploy the army? Many people in the capital would like all those measures, anything to stop this rampaging violence.
Well, the police seem to be overwhelmed. They're actually struggling to get any sort of control over the violence. Why is that?
Well, it's simply too many eruptions. They couldn't keep track. As soon as they would go to one area, another area nearby would break out. These gangs are very mobile. They're very sophisticated with their use of social networking. They know how to hit. They know where the police are, and they were very effective at evading them.
And Phil, are there concerns that this might destabilise the government?
Not to that extent yet, but it doesn't do the government any good. The fact that will help them is that the opposition offers no better alternative, but clearly this is an enormous challenge for any government in any country, anywhere, at any time.
Phil Williams reporting there from London.